Guitar instruction is packaged and sold to players as a one-size-fits-all solution. This ineffective approach fails to consider the fact that guitar players are individuals with unique learning styles, skill levels, and ambitions. So why is that? Well, for starters, it's easier. A guitar teacher can churn out lessons and courses and deliver them to customers much faster and more easily than if they were to create a unique program for each individual. These courses are typically categorized by skill level and require the student to follow a cookie-cutter progression of steps in order to get better on the guitar. The instructor isn't required to give the student any support or feedback because it's up to each individual to either use what's being taught or not. Simple and easy. For the instructor, that is. Where does that leave you, the student? Up a river without a paddle. Don't get me wrong, there are some great guitar instructors out there, but you ultimately are not going to get as good at guitar as you would if you had an individualized plan catered to you and your unique needs as a player. Period. Don't let yourself fall into the trap that has been laid out for you by teacher portals, YouTube creators, and guitar instructors. Consuming more and more content is not going to help you improve on the guitar. The more is more strategy only benefits them, not you as a player. Because the guitar education industry so heavily encourages players to work on so many things at once, it's common for an inexperienced player to never take a skill to a high enough level where it could actually be applied musically. Failing to focus on learning one thing at a time will eventually lead to frustration, overwhelm, and burnout. What you need is an individualized path. Following a path that will eliminate the noise and allow you to focus on learning the right skills and techniques one at a time. Adapting this strategy will save you years of time that would otherwise be spent practicing the wrong things and seeing little progress. When you set a combination of short and long-term goals, it becomes much easier to figure out what you need to be focusing on and when. Setting goals doesn't need to feel overwhelming. Start simple. What do you want to be able to do or play next? This could be anything from playing your favorite song at a performance level or learning to play slide guitar in standard tuning. Every guitar player is unique, so every goal will be unique. Now let's think about long term. What do you ultimately want to be able to do on the guitar in the future? Write that long-term goal down and keep it in the back of your mind as you decide what your next short-term goals are. If it feels easier to just focus on setting one short-term goal right now, then that's totally fine. The entire point of this valuable exercise is to eliminate the noise and confusion. Do what works for you as an individual. Once you're clear on what you want to be able to do on the guitar, it's important to assess how good you currently are at the skills needed to accomplish the first short-term goal that you have set. This self-assessment is incredibly important because it encourages you to narrow your focus down to only learning the skills needed to progress to the next milestone. No more stressing about learning everything there is to know on the guitar all at one time. Keeping a narrowed focus will allow you to improve in the areas that really matter and at a much faster rate. Now that you have a focused plan in place that is going to help you rapidly improve on the guitar, it's time to focus on taking each and every skill, technique, and song that you learn past the finish line. If you're only learning songs and skills well enough to sort of play them, you're doing yourself a true disservice. I'm not going to pull your leg. It takes more effort to take a skill or a song way past that finish line. But here's the thing. Once you start seeing results from doing this, putting in the repetitions to generate those results becomes addictive. At the end of the day, there's nothing more motivating than knowing that these skills will be in your playing arsenal for the rest of your life instead of being forgotten in a month. In order to get really good on the guitar, you need goals, a plan, and a commitment to taking each and every skill over the finish line. I promise you, this will change everything.